If you're on Medicare or about to be, I need you to hear this before October rolls around again. Every fall, something called open enrollment opens up, and the insurance companies know exactly what they're doing during those 10 weeks. They've spent years studying how to keep you paying more than you should, not because you made bad decisions, because the system is designed to make their best move look like your best move. Today, I'm walking you through 5 specific things Medicare insurance companies do every single fall that cost ordinary retirees real money. We're going to take them apart one by one, and by the time we're done, you'll know exactly what to watch for and what to do instead. Let's start with the one that surprises people the most. You probably noticed the commercials. They start in late September, maybe earlier. Happy couples walking on beaches, spokespeople with silver hair holding up their Medicare cards like they just won something, 0 premium, free dental, gym membership included. The message is simple. This plan has everything, and it costs you nothing. Here's what those commercials never say. A $0 premium plan doesn't mean a $0 plan. It means the insurance company is collecting your Medicare Part B premium directly from the federal government, using it as their base, and then charging you on the other side every time you actually need care. The copays, the coinsurance, the out-of-pocket maximum, that's where the money is. That's how the company gets paid. A plan with a $25 monthly premium and a $3,000 out-of-pocket cap will almost always cost you less over a full year than a 0 premium plan with a $7,000 maximum. The premium is just the number they put on the billboard. The real cost is buried inside the summary of benefits document on page 4 or 5 in a small table most people never open. Let me give you a concrete picture of what this looks like. Think about a man like Ray, 68 years old, retired machinist from Dayton, Ohio. Ray switched to a 0 premium Advantage plan 3 years ago because the TV ad made it look like a no-brainer. That first year, he stayed healthy, paid almost nothing, felt like he'd won. Then year 2, he needed a cardiac stress test and 2 follow-up specialist visits. The copays added up to just over $1,800. His neighbor, same age, had a plan with a $30 monthly premium and lower specialist copays. The neighbor paid $360 in premiums plus $400 in copays. Ray paid 0 in premiums and $1,800 in care. Ray spent over $1,000 more, and he still thought he had the better deal because he wasn't writing a monthly check. That's how the 0 premium hook works. It makes you feel like you're winning while the math goes the other direction. Now here's the one that catches people who are paying attention, the network trap. When you're shopping during open enrollment, you look at the plan summary, you see your doctor's name is in network, and you stop there. That makes sense. That's what anyone would do. But insurance companies know that networks change on January 1st. A doctor who was in network in October when you enrolled can be out of network by the time you show up for your January appointment. The insurance company updated its directory. You didn't get a letter. You just get a bill. This is not a glitch. Provider directories are notoriously out of date, and the companies that manage them are not required to call you personally when your cardiologist or your oncologist drops out of network. The obligation to verify is yours, and the window to find out is those 10 weeks in the fall before the year locks in. What you need to do is call the plan directly, not check the website. Call and ask them to confirm on that day that your specific doctors are contracted for the upcoming plan year starting January 1st. Write down who you spoke with and when. If a specialist is involved in your ongoing care, confirm the hospital or facility they use is covered too. The website might say yes, the representative might say yes. But you want the name and the date because if something changes, you'll need that paper trail. Social Security and Medicare rules change every single year, and nobody from the government is going to call you and explain what those changes mean for your specific situation. That's exactly what this channel is here to do. If you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so these videos reach you before the deadlines. The third thing Medicare companies do every fall is something I call the formulary shuffle. And it's one of the quietest ways a plan can cost you several $1,000s without anyone raising a voice. Your drug formulary is the list of medications your plan covers and at what tier. Tier 1 is the cheap generic. Tier 5 is the expensive specialty drug you might be paying $1,000 a month for. Every year, insurance companies are legally allowed to change their formularies. They can move your medication from Tier 2 to Tier 4. They can drop it from coverage entirely. They notify you by mailing an annual notice of change in September, a document that arrives in an envelope that looks like junk mail. Sometimes in the same week, you're getting political flyers and grocery coupons, and most people throw it away without reading it. If your maintenance medication moves up 2 tiers starting January 1st, you might not find out until you're standing at the pharmacy counter in January. At that point, you're locked in for the year unless you qualify for a special enrollment event. The fix is simple, but you have to do it deliberately. Pull out last year's medication list and run it through the Medicare Plan Finder at Medicare.gov. It lets you enter every drug you take, the dosage, and how often, and it will show you the projected annual cost under every plan available in your zip code. Not the premium. The total cost premiums plus what you'll pay at the pharmacy. Do this every single fall, even if you loved your plan last year. Plans change. Your medications may have changed too. I want to pause here for a second because I know some of this feels like a lot. It is a lot. And I want to be clear about something. Everything I'm walking you through today is general education about how these systems work. Your specific situation, your health needs, your income, your doctors, your medications is unique to you. And before you make a final decision on a plan change, it's worth talking to a licensed Medicare counselor. Your state health insurance assistance program, known as SHIP, offers free one-on-one help with no sales pitch. That resource exists, and most people never use it. Now, let's get to the fourth thing, because this one hits people who have been on Medicare for years, not just new enrollees. It's called the prior authorization creep. When you first signed up for your current plan, prior authorization requirements were in a certain place, certain procedures needed pre-approval. Others didn't. But every year, insurance companies can expand which services require prior authorization before they'll cover it. A procedure your doctor ordered without any paperwork 2 years ago might now require a review process that takes 10 to 21 days, during which you're either waiting or paying out of pocket. Think about a woman like Dorothy, 72, retired teacher from outside Columbus. Dorothy has been on the same Advantage plan for 5 years. She trusted it because it worked. Last spring, her doctor ordered an MRI for a shoulder injury that was affecting her sleep and her daily life. 2 years earlier, that same plan covered diagnostic imaging for musculoskeletal issues without pre-approval. Dorothy found out at check-in that her plan now required prior authorization for non-emergency MRIs. Her doctor's office submitted the request. It came back denied on the first attempt because of a documentation technicality. Resubmitted, approved on the second try 3 weeks later. Dorothy got her MRI, but she also spent 3 weeks in pain navigating a process she didn't know existed when she enrolled. Prior authorization policies are listed in plan documents, but almost nobody reads them during enrollment because the focus is always on premiums and drug costs. During open enrollment, when you're comparing plans, look at the coverage determination and appeals section. Ask specifically whether the services you use regularly, imaging, physical therapy, specialist referrals, durable medical equipment, require pre-approval under the new plan year. If the answer is yes, ask what the average processing time is. That's the real number. And now for the fifth thing, which is the one that makes me the most frustrated to explain because it's the most preventable and it causes some of the largest financial losses. It's the income verification miss on Medicare Part B and Part D premiums. Most people know that Medicare isn't completely free. You pay a standard Part B premium. In 2025, the standard amount is around $185 a month. But if your income from 2 years ago crossed certain thresholds, you pay more. This is called IRMAA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. And the income Medicare uses is your tax return from 2 years back. Here's where the fall timing matters. Medicare sends IRMAA notices typically in the fall for the upcoming year. If your income was higher 2 years ago because you sold a house, converted a traditional IRA to a Roth, took a one-time distribution, or had any kind of income spike that won't repeat, you have the right to ask Medicare to use more recent income. The form is called an IRMAA Life-Changing Event form. You're asking them to recalculate your premium using current or most recent income instead of the 2-year-old return. Let me do the math live so this lands. Say your income 2 years ago included a one-time Roth conversion that pushed you into the second IRMAA tier. That could mean an extra $500 to over $1,000 a year in Medicare premiums for you and your spouse combined. If your income is now back to its normal level, you are eligible to have that surcharge removed, but Medicare will not come to you. You have to file the form, and if you miss the window or don't know the process exists, you pay the higher amount all year. The insurance companies running Medicare Advantage plans benefit from this confusion. because higher income enrollees who are frustrated with original Medicare costs sometimes jump into Advantage plans as a cost-cutting move without running the actual numbers and end up locked into networks that don't serve them well. IRMAA applies to original Medicare and to standalone Part D drug plans. It doesn't go away just because you switch to an Advantage plan. Understanding your real cost baseline before you compare plans is the first step, not the last. So let's bring all 5 of these together before you walk into open enrollment this fall. The zero premium trap is the one designed to catch you before you even start comparing. The number on the commercial is not your cost. Open the summary of benefits and look at the out-of-pocket maximum and the specialist copays. The network trap is the one that gets you after you've already committed. Call the plan before you enroll, confirm your doctors are in network for the new year, and write it down. The formulary shuffle is the one that arrives in an envelope you almost threw away. Get your annual notice of change, run your medications through Medicare.gov every single fall, and compare total drug costs, not just premiums. The prior authorization creep is the one that slows down your care after you're already in a plan. Know what requires pre-approval before you sign, not after. And the IRMAA miss is the one that costs couples the most silently. If your income was higher 2 years ago for a one-time reason, file the Life-Changing Event form and ask for a recalculation. It's your right, and almost nobody uses it. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pull out your current plan's annual notice of change. It should have arrived or be arriving soon, and look at it before you recycle it. That document tells you exactly what changed for January 1st. If you don't have it, call your plan and ask them to mail you a fresh copy. Do that today, this week, before open enrollment closes. And then I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, are you staying on your current plan this fall, or are you thinking about making a switch? I read every single one. And if you know someone heading into their first Medicare enrollment, or someone who hasn't reviewed their plan in a few years, share this video with them. One missed form or one wrong plan choice can cost a retiree thousands of dollars they will never get back. You did the work to find this. Pass it along.